Welcome to episode 322 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today, we are looking at how we think the Miami Dolphins should build their team up in the upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. This is outside of free agency draft only. But before we get into that topic, we have the question of the day for you Miami fans and NFL fans in general. Who is the all-time leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins? If you know the answer, comment it below. If you do not, it is okay. Stay till the end of the video and we will reveal the answer. Wade, what is your first thought on how the Dolphins should build up the team in this upcoming draft?
I think that their defense looked very solid this year. I don't think too many of them are leaving. I think that is pretty solid. You leave that alone for the first round at least. And for the first round, I would like to see a Alabama reunion. I'd like to see them take Devontae Smith at number 3, star wide receiver. If not, I can understand why they would want to take Jamar Chase. He is a little bit heavier, a little bit more of an all-around guy rather than Devontae Smith, who is more of just a speedster. Very, very skinny legs. He could get them snapped.
Yeah, he definitely
can. And then I would like to see him take a running back. I mean, they have Myles Gaskins, but he was hurt for quite a bit of this season. I would like to see him take another running back, help develop him. So I would not be opposed to Najee Harris, but if he's gone, I would like to see him take Trace Sermon. I think those are all great options for them to help build that offense, which they desperately need. I think if they do this the right way, they could very possibly make a serious playoff push next year.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a couple of routes they could take here. I mean, who says they're going to stick with Tua and build around them? They could possibly move on and draft Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, or whoever else is on their mind. Assuming Trevor Lawrence has gone to number 1, we don't know what the Jets will do at number 2. If they will take a quarterback and Justin Fields is still available, the Dolphins could get thinking. But assuming they stick with Tua, I think at number 3 they should go with Penei Sewell. Get him some protection, get Tua some time in the pocket. Tua's a guy who he needs a perfect system and he needs the time. He can't be pressured, he can't be rushed. Yes, he's good at scrambling, but we know we much rather see him throw the ball and get the ball downfield than run the ball downfield. That's just how you win in the NFL right now. Yes, there's some exceptions like Lamar Jackson, but Tua is no Lamar Jackson, so he needs time in the pocket to throw the ball down the field. Not to say they can't draft a receiver in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. That's what the entire draft is for, but I think right now protection is the number 1 priority. You do have some talent in the receiving core with Mike Gesicki and Devontae Parker. They're not going to, cut it to win them a Super Bowl, but I definitely think it is a solid receiving core Tua can work with for now. Now, if they did trade down, say the Bengals want to trade up with them, and they swap picks and the Bengals draft Penei Sewell and then they're at number 5, I definitely agree Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase would make a great answer. But to me, number 3 overall sounds a little too much. Yes, he did win Heisman, so if they do go with that, I understand the pick. But if I had to be the GM of the Dolphins, to me, protection is the number 1 priority as of right now, and I love Penei Sewell. I'd love to see them change up and change all their minds and then go with a quarterback right now in the first round. I like Penei Sewell. In the later rounds, get a receiver. They do have the number 18 in the pick in the draft as well because they have their own first rounder outside from the Texans. But I think at number 18, they should worry about the offensive line even more. Yes, as Bull, but you can never have enough protection for your quarterback by any means in the later rounds. I think you can't build up that defense enough. Yes, you have one of the best defenses in the league, probably top 5, but who's to say you got a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick, add an extra piece, see if the guy can develop and become a lockdown defense and go from a top 5 defense to top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with the offensive line. However, I do feel that Tua can scramble a decent amount. I think he got a decent amount of protection this year. I wouldn't be opposed to them drafting linemen. I would like to see that at their number 18th pick. Maybe get Rashawn Slater.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll drop that far, but maybe if they do trade down from 3, I think Rashawn would be a perfect pick.
I don't like them taking Penei Sewell at number 3. Besides, in my mock draft, I have the Jets taking Penei Sewell, so I don't know how that would work. But I can see where you're coming from, and I disagree with you on whether Devontae Smith is too high. I think he's the most decorated wide receiver in college football history for a reason, and I think that should translate to the NFL pretty well. And we saw him and Tua have a great connection there, and I think that would translate very well. But I do agree that it wouldn't hurt them to take a linebacker or another defensive safety or something in the later rounds, maybe 2nd or 3rd round, that could develop and be later, because I think that some of the guys that they have right now really blossom this year and might get too expensive for them. so they might have to move on eventually.
Yeah, I think either way, at number 3, offensive weapon is definitely the priority. I think defense, like I said, is top 5. You can add more to it later in the draft, but right now your number 1 priority is the offense. So either protection or a weapon is definitely who they need to go for. I can't argue either way. I'd love to see if Deshaun Watson possibly goes to the Jets. The Texans now have the number 2 pick to see what they will do. That could definitely change this draft up completely and change Miami's game plan 100%. But for me, offensive is the number 1 priority for the first round. I like Najee Harris, like you said, but I don't know if 18 might be too early, and if they wait till 18, it might be too late. However, they do have the Texans' second-round pick as well, so they basically had the 3rd pick in the second round, so he might still be available at that point. To me, you can't stack up this offense enough. I think the Dolphins have a bright future in this draft if they can make it just a couple more moves to get 1 or 2 extra good players on this team.
I agree. They do this right, they could be a very promising team.
Yeah, 10-6 already. They're only going to get better. But that is it for the video. The all-time leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins is Larry Zonka. He was the running back, a part of the undefeated Dolphins run to the Super Bowl, the only team to go undefeated in NFL history. Number 2 on the list was Ricky Williams, just a couple hundred yards behind him, but Larry Zonka takes the crown. Thanks for watching, guys. 2 in the morning.